Climate change is now affecting every country on every continent. It is disrupting national economies and affecting lives, costing people, communities, and countries dearly today and even more tomorrow. It is an international problem that plagues us all. It is up to us to fix this problem lest we doom our futures. Hello, I'm Haris Nawaz, and this is Ben Smith. And today, for our physics project, we're going to be talking about climate change. Now, as I've stated previously, climate change is a very, very serious issue. With global warming speeding up, we need to take very serious measures to stop this. And now Ben has done something extraordinary to counter this. Here we go.
Alright, so what I did is I wrote a letter to my local representative concerning carbon emissions from vehicles in the state of Texas, where Harris and I reside. The text of the letter that I wrote said, so the letter I wrote said, "Good day, Representative James Tellerico. A major issue has come to my attention and I would like to bring it to yours. The emission standards for Texas vehicles are significantly less stringent than many other states. One example is California, who requires all vehicles to reduce all vehicular emissions by 30% from their 2002 levels as stated in Assembly Bill 1493. 13 other states have adopted the same standards as California, but Texas is not one of those states. This lack of regulation is a problem since as the second largest state in population, we should put more focus on reducing our share of carbon emissions in the United States. The question I have now is why can't Texas do something similar? As one of the largest states, we could have major influence on the carbon emission standards of other states and do our part in helping the earth. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, 28% of carbon emissions come from vehicles, as stated in a link that I provided, and reducing those emissions would be a great step in reducing our state's overall carbon emissions. Please consider proposing increased emission standards to the state legislature so that our state of Texas can do more to reduce pollution and stop climate change. Thank you for your service to our community."
And the thing I love about this, about what Ben did, is how reaching out to authority is possibly one of the best things you can do because it's those with power that can make the most change. However, it's what you do with that power that what matters. And now moving on to what Horace did, what I did. Uh, Probably not as big as Ben's, but I recycled in my local community and got a lot of recycling materials around the neighborhood and just started putting them in. Thankfully, the neighborhood does provide recycling boxes, so I just started putting all those in the recycling boxes over there. And that's what I did to help my community. And doing that, it's such a simple thing. Anyone can do that at home, anywhere. Just taking recyclable materials. And from that, you're able to help people and yourself know that those will be taken back and reformed into something that's usable again. And now on to what Ben did for his project, his report.
So each of us had our own reports for our respective projects and what we researched. So I researched from various sources from the US and Canadian governments that the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has been increasing, and I've noted that through mathematical methods and formulas to determine that, as noted in my report. I also researched the sea level rise rate and the temperature increase rate to show that the climate is in fact changing, and also determine the way to prevent this in the future is to reduce carbon dioxide emissions from human activity. Because while other creatures and things do emit carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, they also take more back from the atmosphere than they produce. But humans do not do this. And as a result, it is causing the planet to heat up with excess carbon gas that would otherwise not be there.
That was amazing. And now moving on to what Hara's his project report, what I did the report. And from this project, I was able to understand and analyze the effects of greenhouse gases on Earth. And understanding and analyzing the effects is important because you're able to really see, visualize what's going on around you. And from that, I was able to research causes and effects of CO2 emissions on sea levels. And from CO2 emissions, the sea levels are rising. And this could be in short time could result in many things for things on shores, and it could lead to many cities being flooded and even worse. And then from that, I was also able to find ways to help prevent global warming and participated in some activities as well as shown on the slide beforehand, where Ben wrote, for example, a um, email to a representative, and I participated in the recycling. Thank you everyone for watching.